Today, we are talking about the next Halo game. Super Mario Bros. Wonder leaked onto the internet before release, and the LAPD playing Pokemon Go and missing out on a robbery happening. All this and so much more. This is For the Win, episode 17. Welcome back.
Is that what number we're on?
Yeah, we're on 17. Yeah. Okay, let's get the
16.
No, we're on 17. We're done. We did 16 last week. Yeah. Yeah.
17 on the 17th. Oh.
Yeah, we're on 17, aren't we?
Yeah.
No?
We're on 17th. If
Recording on the 17th.
Yeah.
Release date? Question marks.
Yeah.
But we're live.
Thursday, but we are live. We are live. Is that pumpkin spice root beer,
You
Henry?
guys had Celsius?
This is the Great Pumpkin Imperial Pumpkin Ale, yes. And then I also have Elysian Pumpkachino. It's coffee and pumpkin beer. It's like, I like pumpkin beer. I like pumpkin coffee.
Mix them.
I've been Celsius lately. Tropical
I've been
vibes.
drinking those. I had my
They're
last
not
job.
bad.
I got them to buy those for me by the case.
Yeah, they're good. No aspartame either, which is very important.
Yeah.
Let's talk
All
about
right.
video games.
Yeah, let's actually get through this intro, shall we? Make it easy for my editing.
But I mean,
It's
energy
forever.
drinks are a vital part of being a gamer. Like
That's
it's
true.
our in our blood. It's our game fuel.
Yeah. My hope and prayer is one day we can actually get an energy drink sponsor. That'd be great. They don't even have to pay us. You could literally just send us each one 12-pack a month.
2 12-packs.
Or two. Yeah, two would be better. That would get us through the month. But even if I just
That would
take
get
one.
me through that would get me through. I just picked up 2 cases of 2 12-packs of C4, and that's probably going to be this weekend, maybe next.
Good Lord. Okay, let's get through this. Welcome back to FTW, the greatest video game podcast in the world. Thank you for tuning into the podcast. If you enjoy the show, give this episode a thumbs up on YouTube and let us know your thoughts by leaving a comment. We hardly get any comments right now, so if you're here, just go leave an emoji or anything. Just help me help you. Just one comment would be amazing. We get some views, but no comments. So leave a comment. If you have Spotify, hop on the app, give it a 5-star rating if you like the show. We have 9 ratings now. It was 8 last week. We have 9 ratings. So whoever you are who gave it a 5-star rating, thank you.
Nice.
All of these things help a lot, and
Is it audio only on Spotify?
It's video, but you can listen to audio only if you want. But if you want more FTW during the week, you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and we got tons of links. Okay, here we go. The rumor mill is a-buzzin'. New Halo campaign is being worked on, while 343 simultaneously at another event shuts down a hopeful fan. According to the SG Bitcast, 343 Industries is actively working on the next generation of Halo, which will be made in the Unreal Engine. Meanwhile, at the Halo World Championships this weekend, a hopeful fan named Evan Yang got to play a new Halo Infinite map and was interviewed by the 343 community director Sketch afterward and said what every Halo fan was thinking. Roll the clip.
Just what's your name, and how'd you enjoy playing on this new map today?
My name is Evan Yang, and I really like that new map. I'm really excited for Season 5. I really like the customization, but I'm still praying for campaign DLC. That's what I'm looking forward to, hopefully one day.
Yeah, I'm going to cut you off right there, Evan. No, thanks. Here's your prize. Thank you.
What?
He said, "Yo, I'm gonna cut you off right there, real quick." All right, thanks.
Jeez, man.
Isn't that great? I love
That's
that.
a 343 employee.
Dude, he's the
that was
community.
sketch.
He's the community director.
I don't pay attention to any of those guys.
Yeah. So
Community director? What community? I mean, you just cut off one of your biggest fans asking for DLC, literally asking to spend more money, and you're like,
I wish I went
I'm
to
gonna
the
cut you
World
off.
Championships because it was local. World Championships is like
it's in Seattle.
it was like 10 minutes from my house, so like
It was sold
I
out
wish I could have seen it
apparently.
in person. Better than last year.
I just think it's just such a bad look, and like this is a fan that'll like follow you to his grave,
Right.
You know,
He's at the world. He's at the championships.
he's
He's at the
asking for
tournament.
something. He's asking for more content that he can spend his money on, and you're cutting him off. And like the infinite campaign map has been wasted. There's entire sections of the map that are just completely empty, devoid of anything, not even Easter eggs. They're just completely empty, entire sections. And it's like, dude, it had so much potential. You could do anything in that open world, and they've done nothing with it.
True. I think the way he just like pulls the mic away immediately, because he wasn't even saying anything really sketchy, no pun intended. He was just
He's like
saying,
crossing his fingers, still hoping.
He's like, I would love some campaign DLC. And what he said as he's pulling the mic away, I heard it this time for the first time. He says, hopefully someday. And he's not being goofy. He's not trying to make a meme. You know, he's genuinely saying like, you know, I would love some campaign DLC.
It just shows you how like sensitive 343 is, and they're like so just like insecure about their own product and their own work because it's just been trashed.
To be fair, in that scenario, he had that line of people to go through, and he asked for, what was your name? What did you think of the map?
True.
We have been to conventions where they ask, where like one question per person, and someone's like, I just want to like herpa, and they just keep going, and like there's like a whole line behind them. We've all been to panels like that. So to be fair, Sketch is keeping it in control. He said, "What's your name? How'd you like the map?" Be like, "My name is Evan, and I like the map," and then blah, blah, blah. It's like, nope. All right, next guy. Hello. What's your name? And did you like the map?
But I think from an MC's point of view, there is like a level of awareness and professionalism. And like, how is this going to come across if I just pull the mic away from this
and
poor
say,
kid?
I'm going to cut you off right there.
I'm going to cut you off right there as soon as you start asking for anything.
I don't think it's harmful for him to just like, because he wasn't herpa-derping for 5 minutes straight. He herpa-derped for like half a second. And so I'm just thinking, all you got to do is say, you know, let him finish a sentence and then say, you know, like it's no harm to be like, hey, I bet you're not alone in that. All right, next person, and just pass over it. You know?
I agree with you there.
He herpa-derps for almost no, like nothing.
I'm just saying, I've been to enough events, enough conventions, enough conferences where I'm like, dude, shut up, stop. You weren't asked that question.
Yeah.
That has nothing. Yeah.
No, I get it.
What he asked wasn't out of line, and I don't think Sketch did it the right way. But I am saying I've been in that situation, and we've all seen what happens if you let that ride out sometimes.
Yeah. Because it is also, from Sketch's point of view, it is also risky. I don't know. If someone's asking for campaign DLC, they could be like a certified 343 hater, you know, and he could just drop a like 343 sucks, you know, on the mic. And then it's like, oh, I wish I would have cut him off. So I get being nervous about it, but Yeah, I don't know. It's just funny. It wasn't any. It's not. This isn't even that
funny.
serious.
It
It's just funny.
Yeah.
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 I don't think it's that serious.
I'm pissed about it.
You know who is pissed right now?
Justice for Evan.
Nintendo. Nintendo is pissed right now because Super Mario Bros. Wonder has been leaked on the internet. Multiple reports suggesting Mario Wonder's ROM file is being distributed online. This new game is also being streamed on platforms like Twitch, although some users claim they've acquired physical copies early. Someone in Nintendo just loves leaking games early, huh?
I mean, Nintendo is pretty... I would say it's the opposite. Nintendo usually has pretty tight grips on anything getting leaked early. They're not the company that... Usually any kind of leaks that have come out, it's after the fact. Early leaks is like... You know what I mean? Like, prototype stuff will come out eventually after the fact, years later. That's a semi-common thing. But with Nintendo first-party stuff, it's pretty rare.
Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4, and Sonic Superstars.
It's a very recent thing because like historically they've been out of all the major companies, they are the ones that have been able to keep their thumb on it the most, you know?
Yeah.
They hired the wrong intern.
Something's been going on for the last 2 years or so where stuff is big AAA stuff from Nintendo is coming out like way early. I don't know.
But also it makes me think of the Halo 3 7-Eleven saga, right? Like this leak isn't a year in advance. The game comes out next week. So they have to ship these games out. They have to get them out. And they just, you've worked at Best Buy. They just put on there, do not release until November 7th, there's a big sticker and all this stuff. But
yeah, I remember when Master Chief Collection was coming out, 3 weeks ahead of time, we had our copies, and I remember I sent pictures of me holding it to John, way back. That was almost 10 years ago at this point. But yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Master Chief Collection gets re-released in a 10-year anniversary.
Oh, man.
What a world.
What a world. Dashcam footage shows LAPD ignoring a robbery to play Pokemon Go. The video shows the car being driven erratically as the officers race to catch a Snorlax and then a Togetic, the evolved form of Togepi. Togetic. The two cops talk excitedly about catching Pokemon, while in the background, radio calls can be heard, including a request for backup at a local shopping mall where a robbery is in progress.
To protect and serve.
You want to roll?
So, I remember I've seen that and heard about this before, so I don't know if this clip is just resurfacing or if it happened again. Because I remember hearing about this scenario at least 4 years ago.
Well, let's take a look, shall we?
What do you think of the word? Is there going to be another Pokeball higher than that one? Any Pokemon over there? No. It automatically searches and updates and stuff? Could you see if there's any Midwest units that could clear from the crime scene and handle the calls in the queue? I don't catch everything. But you're still pretty high up there for not catching everything. There's two suspects inside of the store. They're on the first floor by the women's shoes. Suspect number one is wearing a black shirt and gray pants, and the second one is wearing a black t-shirt and blue jeans, both down black. In their 20s. Where? What do you think of the word? Got him! Is there going to be another Pokeball higher than that one? Holy crap! Finally!
How good is that? Yeah, that came up again this week. And
I think there's a video just got released. I think the They
Yeah,
got like
that's
reprimanded,
why.
and the articles went around, but when it happened, but I think the footage just now became public, in which that's
Correct.
making its rounds again.
Correct.
I was gonna say if it happened, that was the second time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
they got
who's still
convicted
playing
and
it?
arrested. Are people
Like
still
at
playing
that
it, Henry?
time,
What? I'm not still playing it. I got bored after I completed my Gen 1 Pokedex, and then I got, I think, everything in Gen 2 that was out at the time. They didn't have it fully released. And then I was like, I don't even know anything from Gen 3, so whatever.
well, you know, when it was at the height that one summer, like it was so mainstream that like everyone was playing it. But if that was to happen today, like I'd be very surprised if any cops are playing it right
Well,
now.
2017, that's still like April 2017. That was
that's
almost
recent.
a year after. Because the game came out game came out July 5th, or maybe July 6th of 2016. So, for April 2017, that was, almost a year later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious how it's still doing.
Good. People, like, they're still doing community day and other stuff. None of my friends still play, but, like, I have a few friends online that are like, hey, I need more people to send gifts to. And they, like, post their, like, friend code. So, like,
Yeah.
I think it syncs up with Pokemon Sleep. I think it does. I don't know.
Oh.
Interesting. I just thought that was kind of funny. And it's just crazy to see them, like, just on the job, running around catching Pokemon.
Yep.
One of them explained to the other, Togetic. It's the evolved form of Togepi. I buried him and it's still red. You sent a berry and it's still red? Yeah.
Yeah, there's stories of cops doing all kinds of crazy stuff with their phones and laptops and stuff while on the job.
I'm not going to get political. Let's move on.
Power washing simulator gets a dark cousin, crime scene cleaner. You take on the role of a single dad who's a school taker or janitor, seeing as the game takes place in the U.S. by day, and a mob cleanup crew by night. Cleaning up the scene isn't just about mopping up blood. Evidence, like weapons, need to be removed from the scene. Anything damaged or incriminating, like broken glass or stray bullet casings, needs to be put into bin bags and carried back to your truck to then be ferried away and disposed of. This looks awesome. It's going to be released in 2024. They have a demo of it up right now, and it just looks exactly like Power Washer Simulator, but a lot bloodier and rated M.
Nice.
Is it by the same company?
I was looking and I couldn't tell, so I didn't put that in the title. It looks similar, but I couldn't find anything that said it was by the same people. I think it's just like inspired by.
So you get to be like the wolf from Pulp Fiction.
I was just thinking that. I was like, this is just Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
There better be a level that, like, is a nod to Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. What is it? I shot what's his name in the face.
I shot Marvin in the face.
Shot Marvin in the face.
Or you could clean up John Wick's house in movie number 1.
Yeah, there's cleaners.
Yeah, there's cleaners in that too. Evening, John.
There is so the game specifically says it's for mob like crime cleanup, because there is like an Amy Adams movie where it is just like a legitimate like crime cleanup business. They go into houses after there's been something, after the investigation, and they dispose of all the bloody stuff and everything.
Right.
So you're saying it leans into more of the hiding of the crimes and
Correct.
the cleaning up of the crimes before the cops get there.
You're employed by the mob.
Nice.
So I might actually be inclined to play that even more than the other one. It looks interesting.
I mean, I 100% of the power washing sim. I'll 100% this one too.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the day when I hop on my Xbox, open my friends list, and it's Henry is playing Crime Scene Cleaner. It's gonna happen. It will happen.
Yeah, you know it's gonna happen.
I love the name. I think the name is just great. It's a nice alliteration. It just flies off the tongue. Crime Scene Clean. It's great. Nintendo has revealed Mario's new voice actor. Nintendo has confirmed that Genshin Impact voice actor Kevin Afghani is the new voice of Mario. Afghani celebrated the news with a tweet today about how excited he is to voice both Mario and Luigi in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. He said, incredibly proud to have voiced Mario and Luigi in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Thanks to Nintendo for inviting me into the Flower Kingdom. The end of an era, hey guys?
The Flower Kingdom?
That's what I thought. Henry, can you shed some light on why he said that?
I think the game takes place in the Flower World instead.
Oh, okay. I was confused by that too.
Yeah. I wonder if, because he's been announced as a new voice of Mario. I'm curious, but he says he voices Mario and Luigi in Mario Wonder. I'm curious if that's going to be a one-off for him voicing Luigi, and we're going to move on to a new Luigi voice actor also. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just think
speculation.
It's a missed opportunity to have Chris Pratt do it. He did the movie. He was amazing in that. Have him do all the games.
Henry's not biting, John. He's just going to take a sip. Take a sip.
If he's good enough for the movie, the $1 billion movie, he's not good enough for a video game.
That is kind of interesting that Nintendo would be like, yeah, we want him in the movie, but he's not good enough for the game.
They just needed butts and seats. He's a he's a popular actor, so he got butts and seats, and no one goes, "Oh, Charles Martinet? Wow, I need to see that movie." No, that's never happened.
That's
right?
True,
so, no offense to Charles Martinet.
Yeah,
so
but
they wanted to. They did everything they could to make sure this wasn't the same thing that happened with Mario '93, right? They wanted to do everything they could.
Do you think having Chris Pratt voice the video game would get more copies sold of the video game?
I think Nintendo crunched some numbers and they realized that Chris Pratt getting people into theater will work, but no one that plays Mario is actually going to care about Chris Pratt in the game.
Oh man,
fair enough.
Diablo Season 2 launched today, and the guys over at Blizzard, Diablo 4, they took down the Season 2 teaser after players pointed out that it was full of mistakes. YouTuber Rax posted a video offering some constructive feedback after noting several mistakes, including inverted before/after map layouts and side-by-side comparisons of what is described as improved horse speeds that looked completely identical. And then in a laughing fit, he said to Blizzard, "I'm trying to build some hype for this season, but you're making it real hard. BlizzCon is coming up, and if you want to send me the whole slides ahead of time and give me an NDA, I will double check them for you." Oh my gosh, how funny is that? Did you guys, John, did you see that?
I watched it. I watch a lot of his videos on YouTube, so I saw it. It's hilarious. Henry, you would crack up. So the one, he shows the two horses, and it's like improved horse mechanics, and it's literally the two horses, just there's no difference. And then one of them, they mislabeled the dungeon, so they had like original and then improved. But if you watch like the dev talk, you saw, and they just like mislabeled them. And then Henry, the math would crack you up on, I don't remember the exact equations, but like the math that they did was just completely off on because they were talking about like the XP, they boosted XP and how fast and everything goes and everything. And like their math was just completely wrong. And so Rax is just like typing in the equations and they just like didn't make any sense or match up at all. And it's just like, dude, where are they coming up with these numbers?
It blows my mind that they're like this how many $1 million company, and you put out a video and it's like no one even did the equation. Like it didn't. It was just completely wrong. Everything was just wrong. So crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people's sentiment was like, man, if they got like just these small things wrong, like
correct,
we're putting our hope in him for this like new great season, and it's like they can't even label their pictures in their video correctly.
Yeah, well, and what's his name? Osmongold was like, well, I think we know why resistances weren't working. Because it's like they can't do this basic math. And it's like, yeah, well, no wonder the other really complex math equations in your game don't work. Like, they got to get this figured out.
Hilarious.
So yeah, it's just funny, dude. And they took it down, which is fine.
That's awesome.
They're having some problems today with crossplay PC with the new season, and also I couldn't even play today. I tried to get on at a couple hour shifts, and it kept kicking me out. So I'm just like, we'll just give it some time and give them a few hours to implement the new stuff. But
yeah,
one of my favorite parts about being on X is some of the giveaways, and I'm just hoping maybe one day I'll win something. And there's this Diablo 4 custom Xbox Series X, but it's so elaborate that it doesn't even work. And Microsoft has announced a new Xbox Series X custom console themed around Diablo, and it looks epic. Microsoft teamed with Blizzard and Takeoff Studios to create the console design, which is inspired by the Gates of Hell sculpture by August Rodin. The console itself does not work, but the person who wins it in the sweepstakes will also get a working console. It looks sick. It looks like a sick piece to throw up on your shelf and just show off. I would love to have it in the background of the pod, but it's funny that it just
pretty great looking.
It doesn't work, which is funny. I'm like, how do you? Like, why make it so it doesn't work? Is it just because the disc tray's blocked right there?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, can it be digital then?
I mean, maybe the sculpture continues and blocks like ventilation ports and other crap.
Yeah.
It's like technically you could make it work, but we would highly advise against it.
Yeah.
Are you guys seeing this typo right above the picture? This Rodin began work on the sculpture in 1880.
And worked on it for 37 years. Well, they're talking about the original.
Yeah, that's the
sculpture.
Original that that it's based off of.
Oh,
so
this was just an original.
It's a famous sculpture.
I thought it was a Diablo sculpture.
No, it's the Gates of Hell.
Yeah, so it's like inspo. It's inspo, but it's not actually like.
So
the only like Diablo thing
they're not referencing the guy who the art. Yeah. Exactly.
Like if on the top of the article there's a link to the museum, the Rodin Museum. I don't know if there's a picture of the. They have a picture of the original sculpture too.
Let me see.
It's very cool.
It doesn't look anything like an Xbox.
Yeah, I think they just kind of took the sculpture and put it around the Xbox, and
well, they put like the symbol and stuff onto like the door. The Xbox is the door. You see it, like.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it. I like it. It's cool. So anyways, I entered, I retweeted, I did the whole thing. I gave them their impressions, blah, 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 blah. You never know. You never know. So
I mean, that's fair, dude. Like I've won multiple contests like that. Like
really
a Facebook contest like that. I have a Doom guy figurine that's like this big, and it's a hand painted, handcrafted sculpture replicating the hidden Doom guys from Doom 2016. And you push his button and it plays the like E1M1 music. It's like a $250 like statue, and I won it from like reposting on Facebook.
Nice.
I've won a bunch of stuff like that actually over the years.
There
There's always a shot. Go for it.
Yeah. I need that mojo. I need that mojo in my life. 100%.
It's happened to me more than once, and so like if it's something I want, I throw my hat in. Why not?
Hey, can you just go on there, Henry, and enter? And if you win, maybe give it to me.
Yeah. Post it to me. Well, you know,
I retweeted it.
Satanic stuff in my house, David. Like I feel like
oh yeah,
the three of us, the satanic sculpture of the gates of hell fits more along the lines of my home decor than yours.
Sorry, Mom, if you're watching.
Perfectly honest.
Yeah, I don't know where I'd put it. It definitely wouldn't make the living room cut. It would definitely be like an office podcasting streaming room type of vibe. It does look cool,
but I mean,
though.
it's just an artist's interpretation, right? It's not the actual gates of hell.
Yeah,
no,
right.
correct. It's not a portal to Hades that we're putting in our living room.
It's like, oh, this is cool. It's like, this is what it looks like, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Checked out. Doc said, bet my mom would want it. Yeah, my mom would be rolling over in her grave if she saw that on my desk. She's alive.
It's like you see, like you don't want to go there, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Look at those. Yeah. Look at those demons around there. Like it's a
it's
reminder.
a bad place. It's a reminder.
It's a
reminder.
Henry. It's a bad place. Yeah,
Henry. That is like that's what the Christian faith is all about. A cross is a gruesome torture device. And we wear it's a Christian symbol. It's not all fluffy. Oh, I'm going to wear my cute little cross. What it represents in the Christian faith is it's a torture device. So in that it carries weight. 100%. I'm with you. It's like having a cross.
You know how people die on the cross too.
Are we going to talk about crucifixions?
Picked to death. Yeah.
Well, and that's why it's always hilarious when people think that upside down cross is like satanic, but Peter got crucified upside down on the cross because he didn't think he was worthy enough to be crucified upright, because that's how Jesus was crucified. So it's like, actually, the upside down cross, that's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Respect.
Respect. Oh. It's time for the 60-second soapbox. Dun dun. On your marks, get set, go.
I don't understand why it's hard for candy companies to copy other candy company flavors, right? I got Starburst flavored cotton candy today. Now, like, cotton candy is just sugar. It's literally sugar that's been heated up to the point that turns into string. And I don't know how hard it is to take the flavoring of a Starburst and put it into the sugar so that you get Starburst flavored cotton candy. But it didn't taste like Starburst. Maybe vaguely, right? But like, I've had energy drinks that taste like Starburst, and I've had martinis that taste like Starburst. So, like, how is it the martini tasted just like a pink Starburst, my energy drink tastes just like a pink Starburst, but somehow pure sugar couldn't get it? I don't know. I just had to get that off my chest. That happened to me this morning. I was like, what the hell is this?
I love it because you didn't tell us. I had no clue where that was going. And then you open with, why can't candy flavors copy flavors?
Especially it was licensed. It's like,
Yeah.
how did Starburst not give this cotton candy company the flavoring for Starburst to make their Starburst flavored cotton candy? I don't understand.
My hot take, my soapbox, and this is coming from many, many years of Halo. I have changed my stance, and I fully believe that radar does not belong in Halo as a stock standard item. I think in Halo CE it was a mistake to make it standard in the gameplay. It should have been like camo or overshield or something that you pick up to give you a giant advantage. When every single person on the map has radar, it slows down the game, it changes the interactions so much, and it honestly promotes camping ultimately. And so I am just not a fan. I know it was in CE and all the Bungie games and everything, but I've come to the point in my life where if they got rid of it completely and made it a power-up, I think the game overall would be better off. Just my opinion.
Yeah, one of my biggest gripes with the motion tracker is how it just brings a game down, like brings it to a halt. You know, you're moving through a map, you see something, a dot around the corner, and then immediately both players just stop and wait.
Like, oh yeah. Ooh.
Like, oh,
so
what would have been like a clash coming around a corner of two players fighting each other.
Correct.
Now it just stops.
Correct.
Maybe they throw a grenade, so now they're just kind of standing, throwing grenades, and then moving away. Like,
yeah, and I'm fine with it being like a power up. You know, someone has an advantage for a minute.
Yeah.
You know, like that makes sense to me. And then it's like, oh, they can whip around, and that's a huge advantage. Even, you know, you think about, hey, with right now the activating the power ups, like, hey, you throw on a radar right as you're running into an enemy base, you can see where all the guys are at, you know. And I just think it would be way better used as a power up instead of just a stock toggle switch base player trait. So
Yeah, I agree. That would work.
so today while I was working, I stumbled across it's probably about an 18-minute long video of crowd reactions to game reveals. And it was just a compilation, one right after the other. They had everything from like Halo 4 to like the Final Fantasy VII remake. And it was all just like, most of it was just like handheld camera, people in the crowd filming a screen, and then like the trailer being played. And then when like the big reveal happened, like the crowd just like erupting. And one of like the best reactions was for Killer Instinct, and all it was just like ultra combo, and like the crowd just like erupted and were like so excited. And it just really made me like wish that like E3 was like still a thing, and that like companies would wait to reveal things in front of live audiences and like give people the opportunity to like experience like that magic of like a reveal. And like when the Final Fantasy VII one happened, you could hear the guy holding the camera. He's like, "Oh, is it a remaster, or is it a remake, or is it a sequel?" And then it says like remake, and he's like, "Oh, it's a remake," you know. And so it just made me like long for kind of that magic of, you know, the video game trailer reveals and like what it would be like to be in that room again.
They don't build up. They don't build us up with tension. We have this, because of social media, we have this constant want of like information intake, right? So we don't want to build up anymore to a week of like amazing reveals. So it's a lost thing.
Dude,
it really is.
E3 2006 first announcement trailer, Halo 3.
I think it would have to take, you know, the big three and like the entire just like industry like rallying and coming around and be like, all right, let's like make this a thing again. Let's make this a magical thing. Like, let's get some like wonder and excitement like back into video games, you know, and like let's not just all do our own thing and stream it to everyone just sitting at home in their office chairs. Like, let's get people together again.
That's a word. That's a word. Bethesda veteran leaves the company after 24 years. SVP head of publishing Pete Hines says he will retire to start an exciting new chapter of my life, exploring interests and passions. Oh, good for him. That's great.
I'm sorry, but I just saw one headline about this story saying that Starfield was his swan song. And I was just like, yeah.
Yeah. For those of you watching who don't know, Henry loves Starfield. John thinks it's boring still. So
I've been kind of
because
railing
John doesn't know
against
how to
it.
explore space in the space exploration game. He kept calling the game glitched when it was telling him he's put on a damn helmet. He's like, the game is glitched. He needed to put on his space helmet to go out in space. And he's like, the game is glitched. But he just wasn't paying attention. This is what TikTok does to your freaking brain, man. Just melts it.
I was thinking about it more today. It's just been like on my mind because I have dived back into Cyberpunk and playing through it again. But Lee accused me of not being like a Bethesda fan. He's like, I thought you were a bigger Bethesda fan than that. And I showed him. I was like, dude, I've 100% in Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout
Dang.
76.
Woo!
There's one achievement I'm missing in Fallout 76. Oblivion. So like, and then Skyrim I haven't gotten into. So that's like 5 games I've 100% and got every single achievement in it. So it's like, don't say I'm not a fan because like I've
You say, how
my time
dare
into these
you,
games.
Lee? How dare you?
But I think what put me off of Starfield is in all of those games, you play through a short like introductory section, and then the world just opens up to you. Like in the Fallout games, you play through the vault. You kind of go through the things, you learn some of the stuff, and then the vault opens, and then you just, wherever you want to go, you go. In Starfield, there's too much to get to that place. And then when you get on a planet, it's not like a big, you can go anywhere and do anything. And it changes all the time. So it's not like so it's like, I'm just not walking out of the vault and then instantly have a whole world to explore.
You do.
Like but you have to, there's so many steps to get to
it's
that.
once you finish that first mission and you get your ship, you can go to any of the planets. You just got to like make all the proper hops to go to any of the planets.
Yeah, all of that navigation of the menus, the hyperspace, the jumping, the landing, the da-da-da-da-da, all of it takes so many different steps just to get
sorry that
somewhere
space is more
can...
complicated to get to planet than walking outside a vault, John. I'm sorry. That's just how it is.
But then when you get to a planet, it's very small in comparison to like exploring, you know, Washington, D.C. or New England or wherever, you know. So
It makes sense.
I think that's what it is. It's too many steps to get to.
It is a lot of steps. I will agree with you.
I do agree with you in the sense that like I started Starfield and I got like 3 or 4 hours in, and I kind of just found myself like not super sure what to do, and I was really trying to do like the linear mission. I was like, I'm gonna do the story, I'm gonna like follow this, I'm not gonna go explore right now, and I still found myself just kind of like wandering, and it didn't really, for me, just me, like hold my interest. And so, and I do think in this case, someone like me, I think I needed an even better like tutorial, because it was a steep learning curve for me personally.
The game can you definitely use more tutorials. I'm about to do the final mission. I'm about to
Yeah.
do the final mission. I don't know how to craft anything yet.
Yo, that's crazy. Yeah,
I'm like
so
level 40 something, and I haven't crafted anything. I've done some like weapon mods, but then it's like I don't know what it is I need to do to get to a higher level for my weapon mods. It just kind of has happened. I've found the right thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's weird.
When a game gets its hook in you, you're like, I can't wait to play this tomorrow. I am literally gonna try and play the first chance I get, and like I'm hooked. I remember I told John the moment I got hooked on Diablo, because it was a risk. I like paid full price for the game, and John was getting it. And I was like, we'll play together. And after like maybe 2.5 hours and like running things with John and getting explanations for everything and getting all my questions answered, I was hooked. Now I play it way more than him, mostly because I don't have a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old. But it's just like when a game hooks you, man, there's nothing.
Yeah.
So I think down the line I could get hooked on Starfield. I don't think it's a bad game by any stretch. I just think it just for whatever reason didn't like hook me in the way
I feel it because like Bethesda games typically don't hook me. So like,
And see, that's what was so different for me, is because usually they do for me. You go through the opening and then you step out of the vault, you step out of the prison, whatever it is, and then it's just like, all right, let's do this thing. And you just
I don't know if it's like
want.
the space nerd pirate in me that's just like, yeah, I can see. Like there's a lot of self-insertion I've done in this game, which I didn't do playing through Skyrim and playing Fallout. I was just playing those as a game. But like with this, because I do love the crap out of space, I'm a huge space nerd. I have done a bit of like self-insertion, and so I don't know if maybe that's the difference there, right? Like the overall aesthetic and theming clicks with me and just my passions
right.
more than Fallout did, because Fallout clicks more than the Morrowind series and than Oblivion and Skyrim. Like any of those. Like I've played them, like these are okay, but I like Fallout more. Why? I don't know. It's quirky and diesel punk. It's neat, and I like that. And taking Starfield up one other stage, it's like, yeah, this is 100% up my alley. So it very well could be a matter of just the theming is clicking with me significantly better.
For sure. Twitch launches stories feature on mobile app. We don't really care about that. You can do stories now. I mean, who cares? Do any of us care about
Welcome
that?
to 2016?
But like also, I saw another article headline for this. It's like Twitch debuts stories because all social media has to be the same now. It's like, yeah. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go on Twitch to watch stories. It's cool. Whatever.
Every other social media platform added stories in like 2016. So, like,
yeah,
it's been a while. Like, great. I don't know.
Last episode, we talked about the teaser that the Analog Company dropped about a new console. We had some speculation, some guesses, which I think were very good and valid speculations, but turns out the ad had nothing to do with anything, and it was just a date on a graphic. But the Analog Company is bringing N64 games into the 4K era. Gaming hardware manufacturer Analog has announced its next upcoming release. And for fans of the N64 era of gaming, this is shaping up to be a console to acquire if you still have a collection of cartridges from the Nintendo era. A reimagining of the N64 console, the Analog 3D, has been in development for 3 years and will ship with a wireless controller that has been designed by 8-Bit Dough, aka you're going to be able to take a cartridge, plug it into this console that they've made, and play your N64 games in beautiful HD. I shouldn't start an N64 game collection, but this one's tempting me, Henry. It's tempting me.
I mean, I'm really surprised it wasn't Neo Geo CD like I thought. Like I thought I had like narrowed it down, nailed it. But the N64 I think took everyone by surprise because they're using a more powerful FPGA in this than they've used in any of their other products. It's a more powerful FPGA than most other similar products are using, so that's a big thing. The new revised controller they revealed looks pretty cool. It's by 8BitDo. It's a modern two-hand style controller instead of the 3-prong style controller. I wish we could get an N64 controller where I could swap the like buttons with the like analog stick, but in a two-handed configuration. Because like on GoldenEye, I play with right hand on the joystick, left hand on like the D-pad, and so. But you can use an EverDrive on this because you can use EverDrive on all of the other platforms. So then, like, because I have an EverDrive and on my which has like every N64 game on it, and I'm looking forward to this. I have every other analog product. I have their Duo pre-ordered already. I have the Pocket. I have their Super NT. I have their Mega SG. The only one I don't have is their NES because I have the retro USB FPGA version of the NES instead.
4K resolution. That seems crazy to me.
Well, it's going to be 4K is because the games are 240p and 4K is properly multiplies from 240p versus 1080p doesn't fully divide evenly. That's better off for that. And also the higher resolution screen is output is going to be great for the CRT and PVM filters that they have set up. They already on their other platforms or 2D platforms, they have some basic scanline filters, but their analog Pocket has some amazing filters reproduce the multiple different types of Game Boy and other handheld screens. So I'm excited to see what they can do for that because like my retro consoles are hooked up to my RetroTink 5X and I have like dialed in very precisely the like the slot mask and other filters to get different types of CRT effects. So
it's great.
I'm looking forward to this.
Do we know what the 3 buttons across the top do?
Oh yeah, those are what 8BitDo just puts on all their stuff. So it's going to be
star on the top left. There's on the left. It's a star, and then
there's going to be like a home button,
and then it's a heart. Looks like.
So you're going to be able to use their controller with like your PC and other platforms too. It's just wireless. And you can it's probably going to be functional on the Switch, honestly. But the 8BitDo console, the analog consoles, if you hit a hotkey combination, you bring up a menu screen. You can adjust your resolution. You can adjust your scanline options. So that's what those are going to probably be doing. The home button is just going to immediately pull up the home screen without you having to reset your entire console. So you can adjust and fine-tune your display settings and audio settings and everything.
Yeah, I've been like begging Nintendo to do this, and they haven't. And so here we are.
Yeah, I'm going to try really hard to get it. The N64 is like in that sweet spot of retro games for me where the graphics are like very nostalgic.
The music.
Once you get past N64, like Xbox, PS2, then it just seems like the graphics are bad and it's hard for me to like really get into it. But N64 still has that charm, that early 3D charm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably going to try and get one. What are they going for? What are they going for?
Point, but they didn't announce a price point. But in an interview, Chris, who runs Analog and founded it, he said it is going to be in the ballpark of what their other consoles are. So around 250.
Nice.
Which is crazy considering, like they said they have to use a stronger FPGA board than what they've been using their other consoles. So, because all their other consoles, they've been using a Cyclone 5. I don't remember what those are going for on the market right now. But they're using something stronger, so it's going to be more expensive to produce than anything else they put out. So, we'll see.
Nice. Anything else for the good of the pod?
So, Dave, you pre-order this. It shows up at your front door. What's the first game you're slapping in it to play?
Oh, gosh.
In 4K.
Well, I would go to my local shop, first of all, because I don't actually... Oh, that's not true. I own one N64 game right now, Wave Race 64. So I might pop that in, but I would probably go to my local Hidden Gems.
Follow that dolphin.
Jeez. I love that game. The sound effects. Anyways, let's not derail. You would have to get Super Mario 64, right? And just do a little run on it. Like I feel like that's the first thing I should hear, the first thing I should see, the first thing I should stream on there. I think it's only right. So I'd probably go down to Hidden Gems and grab a couple games and start my collection.
You can get an EverDrive, David. You can get an EverDrive. That's what I have on my N64. I got rid of most of my N64 collection. I just have like an EverDrive with every single game on it, and I can even run like hacks. But it's still running the original hardware, so it's a 1-to-1 experience.
Yeah, I could do that, I guess. We'll see.
And then just buy the games you really want.
Yeah,
that's why I kept the ones that meant something to me.
Yeah, I might try and find a blockbuster version of Clay Fighter. We'll see.
Dude, I don't know if you know what that costs.
I know, that's why I said it.
Okay.
Yeah. I said that just for you, Henry. Are you impressed with my N64 knowledge, Henry? Come on. That's good, right? All right.
Sculptor Cut isn't good.
All right. GG's, everybody. We'll see you.
GG's.
GG's.
Next week.